Kansas City. As they watch a true superstar in his prime there. Congratulations to the New York Yankees. They win 6-3.
You're a bad guy.
Why? Why is that?
Bad guy, it's fine.
They had a blast. Everyone in Kansas City.
The Royals are mediocre, Nick.
They're in a bit of a slump.
Are they in five? They're 500. I didn't look it up.
Now I think they're one game above after these.
Red Sox are below 500.
Yeah, they're bad.
Well,
the Royals are, a playoff team.
We're box office.
Well,
Wonderful.
worse.
Steelers minicamp. Rodgers, who was on the cover of Walking Boot Weekly 2 years ago, is looking spry. And I said this, Brew, and you didn't believe me until you heard Louis Riddick say it.
Yeah, he looks great now. It's amazing how it changed my view of. You know what? He does look spry.
Hey, honey, how was work today? Oh, it was good. I threw one of those large balls, threw it at Aaron Rodgers. Pretty cool. He's a good guy. Weird. Guardians Reds. Jose Ramirez hit in the lower leg and then falls down, just pretends to be, I guess, unconscious. Cleveland wins 11-2. Jose batting .331 on the year. More weird. Falcons minicamp. Drake London shows off some handles here.
He looked like he was nice. You can do that with a football?
Yeah, dribbling a football is hard.
That's not easy.
Some good handle. And finally, another crossover sports star. Preview of an Adidas commercial with Patrick Mahomes and Messi. Wow. It's actually a pretty cool commercial. They're challenging each other and talking. I thought I
really like the cut.
The haircut?
Yep.
That's not what I'm talking about. The greatness of football. There's a lot.
And Messi's a Miami player. We're going to Miami. Yeah. Maybe Mahomes will join us.
I'll stay out of this one.
No, you're fine, Brew.
I was complimenting him.
Brew,
I know, but
there's
there's a lot of subtext of the two, potential goats and all of this.
Yep, I get it.
Brew, don't let him silence you.
I'm not. Thunder were favored by 5.5 last night. They won on Friday. No, they didn't. The Pacers won. Did they win? I didn't watch again.
Friday? What are you talking about?
You're all out of sorts.
On Friday, they are favored by 6.
Oh, got it.
I screwed up once, not
Thunder.
twice.
Sorry, I did.
Yeah.
The Thunder are favored, and they lost. And on Friday, they're favored by even more. That's where points are. The odds for this series have tightened, but Pacers are still underdogs. Yep. If they end up winning, what would a championship? Yeah. This is just a disaster.
I got you. What would a title mean for the Pacers?
That's a good question.
This is maybe too easy of an answer, but it is my honest opinion. They would be this generation's 04 Pistons, which is, by the way, that's the biggest upset in finals history by a mile, and it's like same pre-finals odds, plus 7-1, plus 700 as these guys. And it would be a collection of guys who, because of that championship, have a staying power in our memories that they otherwise really had no business having. And that sounded dismissive. I don't mean it to, but basketball
They're
fans.
like a legendary team.
Yeah, basketball.
But
those guys beat a legendary team. I understand that, and the Thunder aren't that yet.
And I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah, you're fine.
They had Rasheed Wallace was obviously a phenomenal high school player, college, great player at North Carolina. He was viewed as a great player that even though he was giving you 18 and 9 was underachieving in a lot of people. In Portland, Rip Hamilton was a good. They had a number of names,
right,
and obviously Chauncey was a huge pick, disappointed initially. And then became a Hall of Fame.
Right, but I guess the point I'm making is and listen, they followed their title up by making a Game 7 of the finals the next year.
And could have won.
Right, could have won it. But the reason that Tayshaun Prince and Rip Hamilton and Ben Wallace, even with his 4 Defensive Players of the Years, and certainly Chauncey. Rasheed was the only one who had kind of established himself outside of the Pistons. You know what I mean?
They
as
were
a
big.
star.
Chauncey was a huge,
Yes,
but
it's the championship.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I don't know if we knew it in the moment that 20 years later people would still reference all the time the 04 Pistons. You know what I mean? And that And this is a very different team, and like Siakam is in the Rashid role in a weird way, like where he's kind of overachieving as opposed to underachieving. It's not apples to apples, but they will be a team that is mentioned in 20 years. While like the 2021 Bucks are not, like will not be. That's a Giannis story.
Can I push back on that? I think it's a very interesting idea. But are we giving too much credit to the Thunder?
Yeah,
will losing this actually undercut how great the Thunder were?
I mean, maybe.
The Lakers were minted regardless.
Right.
I understand that, but if we operate under the assumption that I think is a fair one, that is, the Thunder are eventually going to get one if they don't get this one.
I don't know.
Right, having all these in this run where this will be the 7th different team. No team has gotten back to the conference finals, right? After
winning it. You know what I mean? And so
I think it throws a lot of things into question for the Thunder. Now, if I'm Sam Presti, I don't think I'd mess with this team.
No, you'd run it back.
But, you know, you had even thrown out in the past, do you go get Durant? Do you bring him back?
Love it.
Do you try to get Giannis? Like, it changes a lot for the Thunder. I would run it back thinking we're going to eventually get there. Because remember, they're so young, and that could, you know, save that take I made about them being young. But for Indiana, I think Tyrese Halliburton, if they were to win this, he becomes like, he's right up there, maybe just for the summer, he becomes like the face of the league. Because he's got the personality, he's got the clutch gene, he's got the trash talk, like, and he would lead this team that nobody thought could win. Like, his dad is, you know what I mean? Like, he becomes, for a moment in time, kind of the face of the league. I also think it changes. We've already kind of gotten away from the Big Three era.
Yes.
But it changes the way teams play. It's a copycat league. We've been so much ISO, high pick and roll, everybody just plays. Like this ball movement, player movement, which the Warriors have done, obviously, for years. But it just becomes that much more of, you know what, that's how we should play to win. Because that's how you make your team greater than the individual parts.
I agree with that. I think if the Pacers winning this, I think you guys are underestimating the power of every time there's a big underdog in the finals being mentioned. In 8 years, you know what I mean?
Can we stay just a little bit longer?
Don't worry, we'll be back.
I can't believe they're leaving.